Okay, you may be wondering why I'm doing beekeeping on my channel, and well, the reason there hasn't been a video for a while is my boat's in the shop. Transom cracked. So it's been getting repaired for the past 5 months, so that's why there's no fishing content. But I do like bees, I have bees, so I figured I'll put my bee stuff on here too. Some of you may like it, some of you may not, but fishing and bees are gonna be on here. So in this video, we're gonna make a homemade Oxalic Acid Vaporizer for about 60 bucks. Heck of a lot cheaper than buying the $500 ones. So let's get into it. This is how we're gonna make a battery powered Oxalic Acid Vaporizer for about less than 100 bucks. You can even do it cheaper, you can do it for about 50 bucks. We'll go over both ways we can do this. I got about $10 in copper right here. What I did is I took a 1-inch bottom cap and a small 1-inch piece of pipe right here and a 1-inch sleeve right here with a reducer that's inside 1 inch to an outside 3/4 inch. Tapped and added a 3/8 inch copper piping to go out. And for our top end, I used 3/4 inch cap on top, 3/4 inch pipe. She fits in perfectly right here, slides right in. And up top, I used a screw. It has a smooth end and a drilled end. And if you look inside, there's a washer that fits the direct size. There's 3 nuts in there. There's one backed all the way to the end right here to hold it in with the spring up top. Then I got a nut, a washer, and a nut, and that allows me to adjust the amount of oxalic acid. I have this one measured out for 4 grams, and I got the spring, and it has its smooth part up top right here, so I can just slide it in and inject my oxalic acid vaporization. There's about $15 in copper here, and so you're probably wondering about the heating element. These are cartridge heaters. They use them for 3D printers. I soldered on a block of copper on the bottom, drilled a hole, soldered in the cartridge heater so it's in, has full contact around. This is a K-type thermal sensor. This is our basic vaporization chamber. So we're gonna be using the cartridge heaters, which are these right here. They're just cartridge heaters that you use for 3D printers. These will get up really hot. They'll go so red, they'll get hot. We have 2 ways of controlling our temperature here. The way I'm gonna be doing it, I'm gonna be using a PID controller, which is why I have the K-type thermal sensor, which is gonna go to a solid state relay and a PID controller. PID controller is about $35 for the controller, the solid state, and the thermal sensor. This way I'll have more precise control over it. I also have a LED light on this end, which is gonna go out on top. It'll show me when it's heating, when it's not heating. So I'll be able to see that from the PID controller, but this is gonna be mounted towards the back, and I'm gonna put this on top. So I'm gonna have just a quick look to see if it's heating, not heating. And to use the battery, you can get these on Amazon for about 10 bucks. This is a Milwaukee. These are the adapters that they use for Hot Wheels. So you can get these, run your wires, get them all set up, and this is how we're gonna go through and do this one. So we'll have our PID controller. This is all out, so just to show you, it's not that complicated. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of equipment. All this right here is about 60 bucks. And right here we got this. This is what I'm gonna make the box out of. I mean, we all got scrap wood. And I took a metal bar and did it flat right here, bent it in. This is what's gonna hold this right in here. And there's a lot of drilling and tapping, so I got these out. What I'm gonna end up doing is folding this over, screwing it on, and then wrapping the top of it with muffler insulation. And this is high temp wool insulation. This won't burn either. So these are just the general basic what you need to do it. But if you want to get rid of the solid state relay, the PID controller, you can just run this one. It's a thermal switch. These are about $3. You get them in packs. And so what you can do with these is, let's get a new one. That's one I was using for testing. What you're gonna end up doing is drilling a hole with a flat bit about the size of that, and I would put it in the bottom right here and screw it in. And what these are gonna do is when you hit your temperature, which you bought these for, like see this one's 230 degrees Celsius. I got 220s over here as well. You drill that in, you put it in, and then you run your wires through across this as your controller. And this is gonna be the cheapest way to go around. You knock off $35, $40 from your different parts for your PID controller. All right, so we're gonna plug in our battery now. It's just a Milwaukee battery. I'm gonna plug it in. She should pop on. And we'll see how fast she heats up. Got it set at 400 degrees right now. We'll drop it a little bit. And you can see how fast she's already heating up. So the way I have this set, it's gonna look a lot prettier once I cut down wires. Light is off and she's heating. I'm already at 100 degrees. All right, you can see the light is on now, indicating it came to temperature. That took just under 2 minutes, 1 minute 50 seconds for it to reach temperature. So that's pretty fast in my opinion. So light's on, indicating it's at temperature. I'll have it up top. I see the light come on. I can come over, put my oxalic acid in, bump it down. All right, here we go. Homemade battery powered oxalic acid vaporizer. Pretty cheap to make. Take about a day to put together. All right, you got 12 bucks in copper. 30 bucks for the controller, temperature probe, solid state relay, and another 12 bucks for your battery connection. You get them DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee's what I use. That's pretty much it. I mean, you don't gotta spend 500 bucks. You can make them yourself. It'd be pretty quick. And all you gotta do, plug it in. Lights on, indicating heating. And we'll see how long this takes. So I'm at 39 degrees right now. And we can see it's going. So we're gonna run a timer and see what it takes to get to its temperature. Come back once it hits its 420. All right, takes roughly right at 4 minutes to go from 30 degrees up to operations temps. Now, I got the cap. I'm gonna fill this up with water and we're gonna see its heat retention on it. This water is sitting at about 35 degrees. And we're gonna give it a full top. It's gonna have more thermal mass than the oxalic acid vaporization. And she's done. That gets hot. So with this 3D printer heatsink here, I only lost about 30 degrees, and probably here in another 20 seconds, I'm good to go again. So we'll give it another shot of water. And this is just the doser I made. Washer, it fits inside over a screw and spring. and you can adjust it by going in and out to get your desired amount in here. It's really easy to make. The only thing I wish I did have that the other ones have is like a way of standing off, like an O-ring or something, instead of being such a tight fit, because this gets hot. So you can see that's going, it's kicking off. So lights on, it's not heating. And I have this set up as a controller right now. You can set it as an on and off, but this is easier on the battery running on a controller, but you can adjust this to go straight on. So it'll go on till it hits the temperature, then it turns off. This wants to get to the point that it's holding it. So it's gonna overshoot a little bit, but it's gonna be quite a bit nicer on your batteries, heating elements, and stuff like that. But you can adjust this to go straight on and off, to where once you turn it on, it's gonna kick on, ramp up, and it won't turn off till it gets its heat. That's a lot of strain on the battery and everything else, so I just have it set up as a controller mode. So she'll kick on, kick off. So the controller's kicking on and off, and it's holding it at 437, so I'm on an overshoot of about 17 degrees. If I don't like that, I can turn it back the other way. Turn this down some to make sure my variation's closer to the actual temperature, but I like that, that's pretty close. And she hot. Almost about 40 degrees there. When she's already kicking on, headed back in the right direction. Just pull that off, more, go again, hammer it down, and drop a little water fill. But I hope this gives you some ideas. You can make these battery powered ones yourself at home. Alright, well, I hope you guys learned something on here. You can make these yourself. I would do things differently, like I said before. But what I really need to do is figure out a different mounting situation for the vaporization chamber to the box. These 2 bolts, and it's surrounded in insulation. It's sturdy, but it's not as sturdy as I'd like it to be. So if I was to make another one, I probably would use sheet metal and bend it to the appropriate size. This still is going to work, and it's still going to get the job done, and that's all I care about because I'm cheap. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.